Bracken, who's been very successful in this series so far, is having a rest, but the man who comes in, Brad Williams, is going well at the same time. So the Australians still looking strong, and the Indians, well, they have got a few changes, not least of all Saurav Ganguly, the captain, and with me Maninder Singh. Now Manny, that's a slightly different side to what the commentators think that India should be putting on the field. Saurav Ganguly back after a nasty little bit of surgery. Gilchrist, who comes in at 7 in Test cricket, has done very well in the one-dayers. Matthew Hayden, well, after a checkered start to his career and not being considered a one-day player at all, has become a very aggressive and dominant player.
Champion bowler of the Indians during the World Cup will be starting the proceedings.
Well, it's time. Jaya Prakash gives the thumbs up to the official scorers. He's had a look at his watch. And we're all set in the crowd. They're just starting to crank it up. The lefty will be up against another lefty. So left-handed opener, facing two slips. No gully, backward point, cover, mid-off. Naira moves in and swings away. And Gilchrist gets it fortunately past second slip. Well, unfortunate start for Naira.
In his comeback game after the injury, has gone for a boundary. But not from the middle of the blade. I'm sure Adam Gilchrist won't be very happy with it. It's gone from the bottom of the blade.
I'll pick up a single here. I'm going to pick up two because Naira, who has a habit of no balling, has transgressed already. So a nervous start for him.
Well, let's remind our viewers, India and Australia have met 3 times on this very ground, and all the 3 times the Indians have won.
Pick up another quick single. There's a throw at the stumps. Hayden was home, so he's off the mark. Just going back to the first day night game here, Manny. It was a very close run thing. And right again, Gilchrist launches himself at it. So too much width from Naira. He's paying the penalty.
But go, Ashish Naira in his comeback game, they don't want him to settle this Australian couple. Adam Gilchrist loves that room outside off stump. Loves to free his arms. And what Ashish Naira needs to do here is
much better in the zone. The line was right, but not the length. And Gilchrist has just touched that, and it's raced away through extra cover. So the third boundary in his opening over.
That's it to Adam Gilchrist, whether it's Zaheer Khan or Ashish Naira, he's going to get after them. Just the 5 deliveries bowled in this over. The Australians already on 15.
The field already, they've taken out the second slip and put the close catcher in short of cover. And Gilchrist, bottom edge is that, but a good first over for Australia. 15 for no wicket. A big challenge to the opening bowlers. Similar opening field with left-handed to left-handed. 2 slips, no gully, just a man back on the edge of the circle at point, saving a 1. Naira for Hayden, and that's a useful delivery. Now that is exactly what India need, what Naira needs, what his team needs.
What a lovely delivery that was. Now he's seen Ashish Naira bowl in the nets, he's seen him bowl in the first over, he was moving the ball away from the left-hander, and he can do that. It's lovely when there's competition. These two have always performed
well bowled. That'll make Hayden think.
Yes, and the way he got out against Zaheer Khan at Mumbai would be on his mind as well. That's a lovely delivery, good mix of... this is what Zaheer Khan needs to do more often, keep the batsman guessing.
This time he just strays on the middle leg, and Hayden takes a toll of that. The outfield's reasonably quick. It's brought in. Nearly can't get with the chase over there. Leg stump again, but no fine leg. In fact, they've got a man out at square leg. A very good second over Australia. It's 19 for no wicket. Certainly benefiting from that first over. Oh, the charge again. Certainly some aggressive intent from the bowlers at this stage.
There it is. And that is what they say, it's going to keep coming and going. So the seamers can take advantage of the conditions here at the moment.
just a single. Paulie Carter has been given the job patrolling the square leg boundary rather than the 5 leg boundary, so that move has paid off. The bowl again, much better over from Ashish Nehra.
This should be a good game of cricket. The Indians, Saurav Ganguly, look pretty upbeat.
Get over 20 for none. And that leg gully is the formation Ganguly prefers when his bowlers are at the top of their game. Robbo and good stop.
Rahul Dravid also to come back and start keeping once over again. He didn't. He couldn't judge the swing there. The ball swung after going past the stumps. Whoops! That must have hurt.
Just a little bit of new ball movement, which you've got to expect with that hard seam. It does look like the best pitch of this series so far. Because picks up a single because when we were playing deep, the throw came in, but there was never any problems. So they give the short cover position, which really is a run-saving position more than a catcher. Hayden still gets the gap. Well, that is a very good shot. Beats deep cover and short cover. They won't get 4. Of course, it was a very good piece of fielding. That was some top quality cricket all round. Australia at 24 for no wicket.
That goes to say what a lovely pitch this is. Just time and deliver. A bit of room outside off stump. No problem from Matthew Hayden there. Played it with a straight bat. Head right on top of the ball. Well done by Mohammad Kaif. Now that's interesting battle going on in the middle there.
Always seem to be mentally strong. That's so important when you're bowling to quality players. That went just straight on the middle and leg, and he'll pay the penalty of 4 runs because that got onto the practice wickets. And we'll get to see a replay of this. That ball was probably hitting middle and leg by a few centimetres.
Well, the Indians, what they're trying to do is try and bowl at their pad line. Now, this is exactly what he's tried to do. But the pitch is so good. There's no problem for Matthew Hayden just rolling his wrist over that delivery through mid-wicket.
Now you've got a hand on that, and that's why Australia got the single. Firmly struck. Ganguly would have cut that off. VVS, now he's the man who perhaps is seen as a weak link in the field. Yuvraj Singh, a brilliant fieldsman. And that was middle stump as well. Once again, the field's in the right spot. Square of the wicket on the leg side. Into the over 30 for none.
That's a slower delivery. Well thought of, Zahir Khan.
To me, this is one of the best looking pitches I've seen for one-day cricket in India. Opposed to an official warning. Does that again, he might get the one finger thrust in his direction. The good thing about pitches that have a bit more grass on them will disintegrate the top, but a little bit of grass on them, it doesn't matter that much. The last time Australia played here, India made 315 against Australia. Matthew Hayden, in fact, got 99 in that match. 32 for none. Ashish Nehra is disappointed because that should have been a dot ball. It will go down as a boundary. The captain's missed one a mid-off. I don't think the bowler will have words to him because he is the captain, but having words to you.
Boy, isn't that embarrassing for any fielder when it could have been a dot ball. It's gone for 4. Not very disappointed with the way the two left-arm seamers have bowled this afternoon. Ashish Nehra has been expensive. The odd shot delivery, which gets pulled quite comfortably by Adam Gilchrist.
little bit of shape out. And we've also got the man at deep backward square. Asking for problems in there. Sewag will cut this off. Into the 7th over, 40 without loss.
Zahir Khan pitches this ball up, driven, and that's 4. Virendra Sehwag was the man at mid-off, got pretty close to it, but that was hit with awesome power.
Lovely piece of timing. Just throws through the line. Now you expect at this level those to be stopped. Saw one from the skipper in the previous over. It was a little bit easier. This one hit more cleanly. Sehwag just about the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Another run to mid-on. This is the problem when you have batsmen like Matthew Hayden and Adam Gilchrist, who are hard hitter of the ball. Maybe off the pad, but that's 4 runs. We'll just have to check with the umpire before we put that down in the scorebook as a 4-leg bye.
Because he doesn't swing it out away from the left-handers. It's seam positions. While it's nice and upright, it tends to angle towards fine leg or leg stump. And as soon as he gets in there,
again pushed to mid-off, and the 50 runs partnership comes up on the board. The run rate already 6.38. Zahir Khan also now starting to become expensive. In the air, wide of the fielder, another boundary.
by no means a half volley. He's just thumped us in the air. He's taken on the fielders, and it has just gone like a tracer bullet. Wonderful sight.
So good to watch. You're not a bowler, mind you. Slightly short. This time he goes on the other side. Another 4.
Just bowling a little bit both sides. And while the other one was not too bad at delivering, it was swinging out a little bit from Ashish Nehra. He's got into the pads again, around about midland leg.
Again on the leg side. A deliberate hit up in the air. And I think there'll be a few fielders inside the circle wondering whether a better attempt could have been made. A.B. Jayaprakash signaled that as fielders, Indian fielders, who thought better attempt, perhaps, from Virendra Sehwag.
Well, he got the old up and under. It's only just gone over, and Sehwag's quite a way inside the rope.
Would have been a splendid catch had he taken it, that's for sure. Good Yorker. 9 overs gone, 65 for no wicket. But for the moment, Ganguly has decided Anil Kumble is not needed. Zahir Khan will continue. Good delivery. It's gone from the thickish outside edge for a couple of runs.
Put you away very, very quickly.
Gone in the air and straight. One bounce into the advertising hoardings. So absolutely relentless are the Australian opening batsmen today.
It's not too full. It is just about a good length, and he's gone over the top, right out of the top drawer.
Well, the speed on that last delivery was just about 130.8 for Zahir Khan.
Party today, because then that will set this crowd alight. Lots of fireworks, lots of action. Australia have started very, very nicely from their perspective. Can India come up and match it? That'll be the test. He play there, just pulling up a little bit, quite confidently following through across his body. And he's far down the pitch. And he's coming up short again there. 10 overs gone here. It's 72 without loss.
Boy, India is going to be in trouble. I was starting to say something else which wasn't relevant to this, but this just adds to the trouble. Mohammad Kev, when he starts missing balls, what does the captain do?
He starts pulling more of his hair out. That is just...
Oh, that's trouble. That ball spun, and Rahul Dravid nowhere in position to get behind. It was also called wide.
Everything that is going wrong in the field with misfielding and not quite in the right position. And again, this balance of the side that has been discussed at length with India.
Well, can't blame the Indian fielders. They're on the edge of the circles, and can you believe it? Can it get any worse for India? Just wonder whether the batsman will claim it. I think he will. He has no choice. It's the umpire who's got to make the call. Stop just before the rope. They may not have claimed that run. Went off the pad. That's what, 5 runs? Zahir Khan continues. This is a long spell for Zahir Khan by his standards. 6th over for him. And that's been punished. That's another 4. That's a scorching square cut. And those practice pitches certainly don't help the speed, do they?
It's just so easy for Gilchrist. It's a little too wide, a little too short. Gilchrist, he's always had that ability to even make room. So good is that hand-eye coordination, so fast with those hands. So Ashish now gets the ball to move in the air, gets a bit of swing. A bit like Nathan Bracken has been getting. Oh, that's a great shot. Down the ground, easy as you like, just hit through the line, and that is his 50. It is up in just the 12th over. Not a lot of seam movement with that one, Sanjay. A bit of seam was back off the blade. Some more problems getting in there. 12 gone. Australia 93 without loss.
I think the support that we have here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Never lack of encouragement here. Some of the more important matches played here by India have been won by them purely because of the support.
And a very good surface, has to be said, and another misfield. It's going from bad to worse. Comedy of errors out there.
.98 for no wicket, Australia. 13 overs gone, 98 for no wicket, Australia. It's a bit like a Ferrari that they've started off here in Bangalore.
Well, Virendra Sehwag's on to bowl. His first ball's been dispatched, so nobody can halt this absolute torrent of runs that the two left-handers are producing. There's been some power, and now we've got touch. Slip. That's just not turning back far enough, but that's one of the few instances that India have had any joy or any cause to appeal in the first 14.4 overs.
Jayaprakash, the umpire, a long way forward, so the angle would have taken it past the off stump. Doing the right thing by not giving it in favour of the bowler.
Made a couple of blues, but that happens. Oh, Hayden down, looking to be aggressive, can't score. This is a very good over from Emil Kumble. 105 for no wicket, Australia.
So that'll be a big concern in the minds of the Indian bowlers.
This is in the air, but safe. One bounce. That is a crowd killer.
That 4 written all over it. The moment it left the bat, he found the gap, and it was hit so hard. Really quite amazing, this man. Adam Gilchrist, 9th boundary for him. Bowling. That's his great ability. He makes the 1s and 2s along with the boundaries. Always going to be difficult on any bowler.
There he is. He's about 3 paces from the broad blade of Matthew Hayden. Hoping he doesn't play a shot like that and hit it for 4 straight through you.
Once again in the direction of deviation.
in order not to give too much room outside the line of off stump. Picked up over length. Goes down to get the elevation, Matt Hayden. He loves that shot.
That'll be a bye. Is
So the singles will come quite easily.
the pitch is too good to have too many close-in fields with it. Conditions in favour of the batsman at the moment. He goes straight on. There's some confusion in the middle. The officials could be out. This will be close. We'll go to the third umpire. The call is yes, no, wait, and it might be sorry as well.
Well, the Indians will take it, even if it comes in the form of a run out. Big mix-up between these two, Matt Hayden and Adam Gilchrist. A huge crowd here, could hear each other. Saurav Ganguly, the fielder, will play, and Rahul Dravid does it extremely well. So the Australians have lost their first wicket. Will be a big mix-up between these two. And the Indians are delighted. Hayden gone for 44, it's 119 for 1.
Well, India were hoping for a wicket, and they got one through about the only means looked possible. The run out, that was a nice piece of fielding.
Oh, that's a beautiful delivery. They've gone up in appeal. Umpire not interested.
Pitch has suddenly changed. One dismissal and the game has changed a lot. Hit the gap beautifully. And perhaps he may be encouraged to slow his bowling down as well. And missed at the moment, I fear. An Indian team attack that is struggling to make some breakthroughs.
It's a good bit of fielding. He's finally thought about the first wicket here. And the shoes are on. It's gone a long way out. There's a chance. Well, all followed in the end from Zahir Khan.
Well, Ricky Ponting already feeling the pressure, wanting to maintain that run rate. He's been blocked by some good bowling by Karthik and Kumble. And this time again, an absolutely similar shot. It's like a chip shot, a 9-iron shot which just stops.
Well, you're golfing. Look at inside out.
Absolutely, almost a replay of the previous shot, Danny. It almost had some backspin on it.
Intentions are clear. They are from the Australian skipper. Well, force the change. He's going to stay back there now, Zahir Khan. Long off. The challenge. Again, just drops it in the flight. And get there comfortably. Gilchrist is quick. Ponting will be just delighted to work the strike around to Gilchrist. 65 off just 59 balls faced. Sweep shot. Bit of work from Mera. Does it well.
That's 4. A little bit of width outside the off stump, a low trajectory. Now that's again putting pressure on the bowler.
Adam Gilchrist has just brought up his 1000th run against India in one-day international cricket. So loves playing the Indians. Just keeping a little low at times. It's just such a simple game at the moment for Gilchrist. Happy to milk it down the ground, work it round the corner. Impressive average, just under 60. Well bowled near the contact. Just the 2 off it, 148 for 1. In the Sewang. A bit more flight from Brenda. Something in this field there again. Partnership worth 30 now between these two. It's the 2 on the leg side. Inside the 30-metre circle and just nicely bunted away for another single, and 150 up for Australia.
Australia are doing it very well at the moment. From here on, if they get 6 and over, they can reach 303. I think that should be their target. Just the 1 wicket down. It's a cut and it's through. That's 4. That's very well played.
See lovely footwork there from Gilchrist. Forward and back. Just use the pace of the delivery and thread it through. So I knew it was a poor delivery. For Rahul Dravid. It's the basics of staying down longer, getting those legs closer together. Just too short. Covers there from Khan. That's not the trouble here, India. Yeah, just mention those players are inspirational on the field. Kaif and Yuvraj Singh, you know, young, exciting guys. Cheerleaders here at Chinaswamy Stadium. And again, Ponting, just look at it, just nudge it and work it. He's been sent back by Gilchrist. He's an impressive character, Ricky Ponting. There's that sweep shot again, and it has found the gap. 4 more to Gilchrist.
1 bounce and out of the ground. No chance at all.
Hasn't gone under 100. He is now into the 90s. 90 off 79 balls. He's at 1/6 and 12 fours. And that strike rate on the right.
100 that's approaching. Just plays his natural game, and he's such a terrific player. Now, is that bias? No, it isn't. Chance, definite chance.
Oh, you would have taken it, Aaron. And again, quicker. The last ball of the last few overs and bowling these faster, flatter ones. Strange. 167 for 1. Dewag or Mulikutik, and pushed it through. He's deceived them in the air. And again, the question mark is asked about a specialist keeper in the one-day game. Leg bias.
This was very well bowled. Could have been an opportunity, but off the pad. No chance at all for any keeper, Danny, there. Off the pad.
And a chance, well, not really. And it's gone for 4. And he really didn't even middle this, Gilchrist.
He's on 91 before he plays the shot. Just chips it over the bowler's head. And had enough of it, enough on it to take it to the boundary. Really no chance at all.
Some of the Indian batsmen can be held guilty of just slowing down as they come close to their milestone, not with Adam Gilchrist. Another single.
Well, Sanjay, sometimes it works as a negative for your team. We saw it Gwalior. I think he's got to do a little bit of thinking there.
It's in the air. It's a nice chip shot. Should get a couple of runs. Will make that 3 runs to Ricky Ponting. 181 for 1. Great delivery. Batsman completely beaten. Fortunately for India, so was the keeper.
Beautiful action. Wow. Tough luck, Karthik. Just keep it going. He's bowling well. Now this is where I feel you've got to have a specialist wicketkeeper.
That is the problem you have when you don't have a genuine keeper. That was a typical stand-in keeper's reaction.
Ricky Ponting thinking, that's lovely bowling from Murli Karthik.
Beautiful over, 181 for 1. Man on 98, Adam Gilchrist. Wins this one. And he'll get to 99. to be fair to the Indian new ball bowlers, they attempted the right thing. They started connecting balls, then they didn't really have plan B. Ricky Ponting having got a life will value this time out there in the middle. Well, it's a pretty fair crowd when it comes to, well, achievements, even if it's by an opponent. That's it. That's his 100. Bat up in the air. First 100 against India. 9th overall. And boy, isn't he happy. Pointing towards the dressing room. Great innings from Adam Gilchrist. 184 for 1. 31 overs. 184 for 1.
He's been very impressive. 100 of 94 balls. First one against India. That's rather strange. He's got to scores of 80s and 90s a couple of times in the past. Should he be?
It doesn't give you the impression that he's a batsman who's looking for hundreds.
Strike rate 92.4.
He's gone for the full shot. Doesn't bother running. He knows he's put that ball in the gap.
For Adam Gilchrist here, he was thinking that he scored his 100, he's going to step out and try and hit him over the top. That is why he tried to push that one a little short. Adam Gilchrist very quick to pounce onto that one. One odd poor delivery from Murli Karthik.
Another single picked up. He'll keep the strike. The score 193 for 1.
Between Sehwag and Ganguly, they'll have to bowl another 3 overs for the 5th over. 5th bowler.
Looking at all options, but Ganguly hasn't yet gone to Tendulkar for a spin option or maybe slow medium pace.
Whatever his intuitions, he works by that.
Not a bad comeback for Ashish Nehra. Just the 2 runs so far from this over. We look for 2. Tendulkar is the man in the deep. Just the one. 196 for 1. Again the pull shot to a ball that's not too deep. That he's a batsman for all conditions, and you can see he's working on it. He knows that he's got to deliver in the subcontinent as well. Now those graphic or the scores that we saw,
Stops and come. I agree with you. If you are the best in the world, you've got to adjust to any kind of conditions.
Oh, sweetly played, but straight to the fielder. Zahir Khan has taken that catch. Anil Kumble has struck. Well, it was so sweetly timed. You could hear the sound of the bat. Came from the middle of the bat. But a good catch in the deep. Just what India wanted. A breakthrough.
Oh, that was too sweet. Right on the middle of the blade. Straight into the hands of the fielder, Zahir Khan. Adam Gilchrist must have been thinking, God, if it was a top edge, it wouldn't have carried that long. Gilchrist gone for 111. 198 for 2. Australia.
Damon Martin, the stylish number 4 batsman for Australia. Whether that's come off the bat or off the pads, we'll just wait for the umpire's signal. No, Damon Martin is off the mark. Quite right, Mani made it look pretty easy. Never easy with the background that you have here. Half-hearted shout from the Indian fielders. 199 for 2. Oh, beautifully played. This might just go all the way. What a shot this is.
And he's had a lovely 100 against the Indians. Damien Martin played at Mumbai. That confidence carries on. Very well placed by Damien Martin. Not much movement of the feet for Damien Martin, but he's got a fantastic eye. Picks it up very quickly. His mouth was open. He just needed to be fed. And that is what Ashish Nehra did.
Well, again, it's timed beautifully. It's another lovely shot. A repeat of what happened earlier in the over.
A little bit of thinking here from Saurav Ganguly, because the ball is really coming on nicely when the seamers are bowling. Why not have Virendra Sehwag or Sachin Tendulkar? Because both these batsmen, Ricky Ponting is not very happy when he's batting against the slower bowlers. Damien Martin has just come in. So if you don't give him speed, could be a different story here.
Another expensive over. 207 for 2. Anil Kumble continues, given the charge, hit in the air, and that's 6. Ricky Ponting has waited enough. He's decided he's got to press the pedal. Looking to play on the leg side. I think that was the key to the shot. And he looked to play that one straight, might have struggled. Excellent shot. First ball of the over and disappeared for a 6. So pressure right back on Anil Kumble.
Bit of miscue this time from Ricky Ponting. He's trying to up the run rate a bit. And the temperatures will drop in the evenings here. It'll be a big bonus for India. Much quicker. Marginally short in length, but these Australians are good at picking up the length very early and getting into good position through the fact that he missed out on a boundary in the last occasion.
Finally, happy to just pop it down the ground for a couple. Ends the 39th over. It's 230 for 2.
Karthik into his last over. Oh! Once again beaten in length. Deceiving the batsman in the air on a pitch which doesn't have too much for the bowlers. He's bowled extremely well. Has he gone all the way? Yes, he has. He's taken the aerial route. And Ponting races to his 15 style. He gets to 52 with the second 6.
And this one, well, he just gives it the full smoke. Stunning. Backed himself, went a long way down. So pretty well bowled. It's the slowness of the delivery.
Give it the kitchen sink. It was in the air for a long time. Cleared it by distance. Once again in the air. Pulled it bit on. Jumping but can't get there. Another 6.
Even though he closed the face on us and didn't quite get a good chunk of it, he got enough of it. Just see at the point of impact, he just closes the face and gets it near the bottom of the blade. 2 6s in this over. Very expensive over. 15 already. The ball left. 15 off it. 2 5 for 2.
Putting the first one hard, putting some pressure on the fielder. Eventually pick up an easy 2.
Was going very nicely until that last over, his 10th. And 15 were taken from it.
Raj is doing the right thing earlier on, sticking to a middle leg line. It's Damien Martin.
This man in such good form. And that sort of poor fielding. You get something on that as a keeper, even just a bit of a pad on it. Something in the way. Just brushed a little bit of the thigh pad of Ponting. And as a keeper, you want to get something in the way of it.
Single to keep strike. It's 254 for 2. Been brought into the attack. Understand his body language. Going for 32 in his first 6. Good delivery to start with. Keep Ricky Ponting in check. Well, what a placement. Just no sound from the crowd. The ball raises to the fence.
Well, it might be a good placement, but it's not a great delivery at all. It's short and it's wide. And got the treatment it deserved. That is why no hesitation in saying that they could get close. Well, 350 on the Yorker again. So it's gone to a man out there, didn't quite time it. Martin happy to rotate the strike for a skipper. Now, I think he has struggled against Australia ever since that World Cup final. Zahir Khan, powerful Australian lineup. This man's got a lot on his mind too.
Again over the top. Good strike and very clean and very long.
Gotta love it. Ponting stepping up a gear. And that's in the slot. The length is the key there. Right in the zone for him to go through with that. Beautiful finish. Nice little punch from the bottom hand.
266 for 2. Goes into the stands. And will this one go all the way? It does too. It's raining sixers here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium.
Certainly is. Doesn't want to deal in fours. He's just dealing in sixes. That is the fifth one he's hit. Not going along the carpet today. He's not satisfied with that. He has gone right over the top again. And the crowd are in danger.
Was quite used to this. They hit 8 sixers in the innings, the World Cup final. Inside out, Jamie Martin. He finds the 10s as well, but this time it's only 4.
Boundary fest here on a Wednesday in Bangalore. And we're watching a lovely exhibition of clinical stroke play, especially on the offside. Ponting, and now Martin has got into the act.
12 runs already in this over from Yuvraj. Make that 13. Now it's 14. Good running between the wickets. 280 for 2. Ball 350. 10 and over. They've been getting 10 and over the last few. And these were the 2 batsmen involved in the partnership. The World Cup final as well.
Searching for the Yorker here, which is exactly what he wants to do, Zahir Khan. And back himself a lot of change of pace. Mohammad Kaif and Zahir Khan, just a little tangle there, bowler's end.
Only Karthik bowled pretty well. His first 9 were brilliant. Nick expensive last over. Ashnera disappointing. Singles are bound to count with most of the fielders right on top of the 30-yard mark. It's the boundaries that the Indians will look to cut now.
This is a good over for India.
Looking for the one, won't get it. 285 for 2.
Last time Australia-India played, India batted first and they got 315. So it's Australia's turn to bat first and put up in excess of 300, the way the last 2 matches have gone against these 2 teams. In the air, in the gap, and it's gone all the way in. Seems like it. ABJ Prakash will have another look, but to me it looked like it was just landing on that advertising hoarding straight up.
Let's have a close look here. Land, please. Oh, that's gone. Can't remember that being done before. There is Jaya Rakesh just confirming what we've just seen on our television screens. I don't know what he's got in the bat, Sanjay, but it's working.
Well, it's a bat that cannot hit the boundaries, but he's got the first 4 of his innings. How often has that happened? First 4 after 6 sixes. You've seen the funny side of it.
It's not very amusing out there thinking the captain fields an or bowler.
I think what happened there was David Shepherd saw that it was above waist high and could be called a full toss and no ball. 100 of 67 balls. In the gap again. How many runs he scored in that area, Damon Martin? So the onslaught continues. 300 comes up for Australia. The loss of 2 wickets.
Inside out with power. One of Martin's trademark strokes. What I'm surprised they haven't exactly set the field for it. We've seen the Kiwis have 2 men on the edge of the circle.
Ricky Ponting will now be facing up to Ashish Nehra.
Sticking with over the wicket. Much reverse swing around at the moment.
Again, another batsman very carefully getting out of the danger area, running down the wicket. Lights on in the dressing room for Australia.
Good form so far. Oh, and Jew has to concentrate on his fielding just for the moment before he starts thinking about batting. But he's the kind of player who can get you away to a flyer.
Again, played to long off. The score moves on to 309 for 2. Four overs to go. 309 for 2 Australia. Could be a run out here. No. Throw wasn't good enough. Ponting on 93.
Martin sets off straight away and Ponting drives on the up. He can't get here. Well, he's behind the stumps. Just throw.
Still 3 overs to go after this over. Plenty of cricket left. Again on the leg side. Gets a run. VVS Lakshman, the man in the deep.
Lots of questions being asked and very few being answered at this moment.
Well, hasn't bowled yet Sachin Tendulkar. Bit of a surprise for me. Pretty quiet here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Hard to imagine that just about 60-70 yards from the pitch there are 45,000 people watching this match. Very quiet and somber at the moment, the mood. Left on the pads, but the ball was pitching outside the leg stump. 3 overs to go, 315 for 2. Close to 340, 350. Taken on the full, it's pretty straight. That will allow the batsman to come back as Longoff gets behind the ball. Murali Karthik, the fielder. The 2 runs of the first ball from Ashish Nehra. Pretty vindictive team, the Australians.
They like revenge. Haven't played the higher score, but the game's not over yet. India, the bowling hasn't been up to par, and India, any side in world cricket can chase, they can. Those numbers.
Hard hit. Murali Karthik again repeating the act. This time he's able to prevent that extra run. Just the 1 run.
Just a touch.
99 now, Ricky Ponting wants to come back for the 100th. Fielder won't allow it, so he'll stay on 99.
Last ball of the over, and another batsman on strike.
Cross batted it. He's found the gap. That's going to be 4. So another expensive over from Ashish Nehra. The score is 324 for 2.
I think there might have been a slower ball from Ashish Nehra, but no one out there protecting the same area where Yuvrad's didn't throw. There's no one backing that up. Slower ball and well picked. Just a little bit of cribbing down the pitch.
Ricky Ponting on 99. He gets a run, whether it's come off the glove or the pads. It is off the glove, so the bat can come up and the smile can break in. Oh no, now that's interesting and hilarious to say the least. Same area, same result. Got to count the number of boundaries hit in that area. That's his favorite zone, Damien Martin, where he picks up another 4 to bring up his 50.
With that trademark shot, extra cover, fieldsman should be back on the edge of the circle, or there could be 2 fieldsmen there. Just in that area.
Not very much in that area, but long of Mohammad Kev, who's quick on the ball, who brings Ponting on strike, who's batting on 99. The Australian support very much here at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Ricky Ponting on 99. Slow ball. Do we keep an eye on A.B. Jayaprakash? Or we don't? It's 100 of the bat. His 15th one-day 100. And second against India on Indian soil. Another superb innings being watched here by the crowd at the Chinnaswamy Stadium. Interesting to see how many one-day centuries have been scored with just the 1-4. Won't be too many. Another Australian batsman, in fact all Australian batsmen have had a strike rate of 100 and more. Given the chance, it's gone up in the air, nobody there to save that. And another reconfirmation needed by A.B. Jayaprakash before he can make the signal. The arms go up in the air. I thought that would be the second 4, but it isn't. It's the 7th 6. Well, it's more of an instinctive shot. He wasn't watching the ball. Yeah, that's crossed the boundary. That's another 6, 7. It's an exceptional shot there.
It's a baseball shot. It's a home run over left.
And without watching the ball. Looking to paddle sweep that one.
It's one frustrated bowler. He'll need to. He's only gone for 73.
The juicy full toss which has been put away quite comfortably for another 4 from an Australian bat.
Goes the Yorker, gets it wrong. Martin's waiting for that sort of delivery. Short backswing. Looking for something very full. Doesn't try to hit it too hard, just times it. Again.
Putting pressure on VVS Lakshman, that second run. It's also that open stance of his, isn't it, Damien Martin? Again, that same partnership that put India out of the game. 345 on the board. Good ball, just a 1 run. Invariably, when India is set a target of this kind, everybody, for some reason, looks at Sachin Tendulkar, forgetting that there are 6 other batsmen of international standard in the team. Another full toss. Just get the 1 run. So 9 runs coming of that last over, with Australia reaching 346 for 2 in their 50 overs. Ricky Ponting unbeaten on 108, and Damien Martin, a classy innings of 61. The last 10 overs costing 102 runs for India. Well, that is awesome batting from the Australians. 347 for 2 in their 50 overs, 23 extras for the Indians. innings when he has 7 bowlers used by India.
Target for India, 348 to win at 6.96 is going to be a very difficult ask. Looking at the Australian bowling, so the run chase will be pretty important as far as the Indies are concerned. They'll look for a big start from here. Virendra Sehwag, but he can blast a bit. Strike rate of 96.7. And the little master, Tendulkar, will have to fire if India are in with a chance. Brad Williams, who had a good tournament so far, will open their bowling for the Australians. Right arm over, play, shot, Brad Williams. Gets off the mark straight away.
Well, they're excited. Hopefully they'll have plenty to cheer about in this run chase. Hopefully they can do the same for Sachin Tendulkar.
Starts off with a bow time, called wide. Good decision by Shepherd.
Brad Williams not happy, but David Shepherd says down the leg side. That's why it's a wide. Height had nothing to do with it. Often dart one down the leg side.
The crowd getting excited. They really look for a run chase here. But anything can happen with this man player. Well, Tendulkar gets off the mark. We look for 2. Clark, the fielder, in fact picks up 3. It's 5 without loss. Well, you don't go to him there. Marginally outside the line of off stump and just marginally short. Not a bad delivery, but Tendulkar picks up his first boundary.
As LA said, not the worst delivery, but fraction too short, fraction too wide. All Sachin needs is a fraction.
Jayaprakash gets Sachin Tendulkar out LBW in the previous game. This time, rightly, he wasn't impressed with the appeal.
Just a bit of movement off the seam, but it's a good bounce. The Aussies believe Tendulkar will go a little bit more behind.
And he's placed to pick the gap this time. This outfield is quick. It's a good start for Tendulkar, not a very good one for Kasparov.
And Potting's got it wrong because this one goes just in front. Good batting, good placement. And that's the line that the fieldsman normally stands.
Top ball to finish. 2 overs gone. 13 without loss. Sehwag feeling for it. He thought it was a wide, not umpire Shepherd. A good delivery angle into Sehwag, cramping him for room. We're talking about Srinath. Yes, nice gesture on the part of the Board of Control for Cricket in India, the players. The whole of India will certainly miss him. He's found the gap again. Hasn't got enough to find the fence. Andrew Simon's the man, but the ball wins the race.
Once again, not a particularly bad ball from Williams. Just swung away a little, and that gave Tendulkar the width to work with. That's a terrific shot. Just weight forward over the ball. Nothing extravagant about it. Just effective.
Made some good contributions at the top of the order. And that's put pressure on Brad Williams now. After the boundary, there is a bit of swing, but staying in line as Brad Williams.
Actually, Potting's taken himself out of slip now. He's at short point.
There's a line. Don't bowl to Tendulkar on his pads. He'll clip you down for a boundary every time you do that. It's 23 without loss.
play across it. Got there a bit soon.
He has to wait for the ball to come on to him. Has the tendency to close it a little too early.
So a slip and a short backward square leg. After he's been there for half an hour, then start to play some shots, but doesn't want to get out cheaply again.
Edged. Superb bit of work there. Great work from Andy Bickle. Stops the certain boundary. It's 25 without loss. Still waiting for the third umpire to make up his mind. I think it's fine. A yard, good yard inside. A small ceremony between the innings to honour the rest of the dancing again. This time, much better direction. In fact, looking at each other to two umpires to see the height.
Debate and consultation, and I think they're right, it was clearly over the shoulder.
This is the masterpiece. A master in full flow. Fourth boundary already. And what a player he is. A lot of people in the box excited.
Stand and deliver. Too much width, we've talked about it. Quite happy about it all.
We'll have to mix caution with aggression, these two. Great delivery. 5 overs gone, 31 for no loss.
It's the 1990s and led it very well indeed and took them to some great victories.
Well, this is what the Australians are good at. Saving runs. Great fielding side, and any bowler would enjoy bowling them conditions, even if it's as good as this for the batsman. Great support for the bowler.
Simons in particular, very quick across the ground, good hands, and that for him that's probably a misfield.
It's in the air. Oh, he almost reached it. What a catch that would have been. Damien Martin, fantastic effort.
Martin's fielding deep here, right back at the edge of the circle. Oh, just got a fingertip to it. Hangs in the air for a long time, but he's so deep. Nathan Brackett has been in terrific form.
He's not playing today, Nathan Brackett. 6 overs gone, 32 without loss. A lot of protection square of the wicket in the offside, so they're looking for the cuts to come into play.
On the offside, it has got a strange look to it, very unorthodox.
Great effort by the bowler. Certainly stopped a boundary, Brad Williams.
Did very well to get a finger at all onto it. I think Verinder was too far down. We'll get a good look at it here. Sachin knows he's missed out on the boundary. Well, they got the batsman thinking.
Oh, that's a great delivery. Cut him into half. Brad Williams, Tendulkar and a spot of bother.
Yeah, does this do a bit off the wicket? Yes, it does. Good length, and perhaps Tendulkar's thinking to hit this hard on the offside. A little bit of width there. Going back through the gap.
But the Australian captain quite excited. That's a good delivery again. Quick. Tendulkar, pretty lucky this over.
Genuine edge. Had the off cutter followed by the leg cutter.
There's going to be some runs there. Getting right to Adam Gilchrist. By signal, 7 overs gone. It's 36 without loss, India.
So, Ponting, really proactive, another outside edge. And you see the feet not quite going as much. It's a no ball as well.
Well, to start with, was a no ball a bit too tight.
Left-hand, right-hand combination. And gone, he's put him down. Would you believe it? Matthew Hayden has put down a simple chance by his standards.
The batsman opening the face, so that also is an early warning for a slip fielder. You can see here, opening the face, and those big hands are not in the right position. Taking the catch alongside him as they normally do. That should have been taken. Matthew Hayden took a brilliant catch to dismiss the same man. We showed that to you a little while earlier. Few runs, few good runs for Virendra Sehwag.
Much needed ones. It's just in this over where he punched one back to Kasprich, the bowler.
Actually, that quite explained it. The zoomer telling us the story. Cracking shot, but he won't get too many runs for it, but certainly get some confidence from it.
The problem out here, Damien Martin's hand. You see, it's just that length is a bit nicer for Sehwag. A good effort, but I think he's been hitting the thumb here. Gallant effort from Damien Martin. Another catch goes down.
Inside edge onto the pads. 46 for no wicket. Nicely played. There's some timing behind that one. Should be a 4. That's his first boundary. Just before that ball was bowled, Danny, the crowd got behind Sehwag, chanting Sehwag, Sehwag to get him going.
This is his 29th delivery faced. And it's the first time he's found the boundary rope. It's one of his favourite areas for Virendra Sehwag. Off his hip. Oh, it was well hit and well fielded by Ricky Ponting, an Australian skipper. Led from the front to the back, and he's now doing it in the field.
Well, this is absolutely brilliant. He's a right-hander, and this is a left-handed stop. Well, as a skipper, because he's so good at slips, he tends to take that position when there are 2 slips.
And he's gone over the top, on the thick edge, falls safely, and they'll scamper back before a couple. So when the over, 52 without loss.
Virendra Sehwag taking a bit of a chance, looking to go over the top of mid-off perhaps, getting the outside edge, just out of harm's way. Some luck to come his way. One slip and a gully for Virendra Sehwag.
Bickle down there, third man, got to the ball quickly. Gilchrist and Hayden. At the moment, India just finding it tough.
Will get a run, keep a strike. 12 overs gone, 57 for no wicket. It's New Zealand and India that have to battle for the points. And the ball keeping low, and a direct hit might have been close. Well, it happened for India this time. It's Australia that have conceded the overthrows.
From Michael Clark, picks up one movement and a direct hit, and again I think he was gone. And then almost into the chest there.
Straight to point, but what is likely to happen for India?
Between India and New Zealand. The bowl, Andy Bickle. They that's a good scenario. It's clearly Australia so much better in this tournament.
The team that has more bonus points from their efforts in this tri-series gets precedence.
Cross, he doesn't tend to get a long way across Venezuela at the moment. Almost going back towards leg stump. Tendulkar, it's not a single. 64 without looks.
That's Andrew Simon's man on. Martin was one of those who put down a very difficult chance off Arenda Sewag. Very difficult. My expert bonus point man with me, Aaron Lowe, has finally some aggression, and the first 6 of the Indian innings. That's what the crowd have come to see, and that's what India need.
Indeed, now that is a spectacular shot. Slightly predetermined. Great footwork, made room for himself, went inside out, made splendid contact with bat and ball, and went all the way. Fetch that. We saw some phenomenal hitting by Ponting earlier on. And now Sachin. So that's astute. You get it over boundary, you get 6 runs, then just follow it with a single and go into the final by virtue of having beaten India once. So at the moment, the call is whether India can win and put some pressure on New Zealand.
They need to go on a positive note here, and even if they don't win this match, which is unlikely, they need to make a good score. They need to take it to the Australian attack. And they'll keep taking it to them. Clever cricket. Thoughtful batting. 76 for none. Continuing from the pavilion end. Getting an edge, but might go for 4. Well, India certainly need a few of those. Not a bad delivery.
Yes, indeed, he did open the face of the bat. He wanted to play it there. Played it almost to perfection because he got a hint of outside edge.
After a shaky start, Arenda Sewag is just coming into form.
Well, this is more like it from Sehwag. This is his very, very favorite area. Loves to cut hard, sort of like an undercut on the jaw of the ball, lifts it over the infield, gets 4.
And that one, most people would find hard to cut, but Arenda Sewag hasn't. And Michael Kasperwitz hustles around the boundary. Well, that was a remarkable shot because Bickle made a very good adjustment on it. Fuller. And again he cuts, again there, this could be 6. Talk about some power in that area.
That has really released the pressure from Sehwag. He's really launched into this one, and it's gone all the way. That's 6 more to the Indian total. And Bickle is discovering Sehwag. Steam off the over already. And it'll stay at 16. It's 92 without loss after 15.
Another change in the bowling, Harvey on for Simons. It'll be Tendulkar's 50, and this will be 4. Well, Australia so calm under pressure of falling. And Tendulkar picks up a boundary and yet another half century. And 64th in limited over cricket. Off just 45 deliveries.
That was well played. Just into the gap. Now, just let's see what happens. It's a bad bounce. Slightly, maybe a little casual there. He's missed it. Has he dragged his foot?
In real time, I thought he might have got the foot back, but we'll get a look at the slow motion. So the third umpire is out there, and the toe is down. Well, look at the toe in the air, down. Well, that's dead heat, really, isn't it?
That's really close, Jeff.
Yeah, that's dead heat. I couldn't give that out.
It's just too close to be given. They've got it. Oh, wow, what an atmosphere.
We're both side ball. We'll go for a drink here with India 98 for none. That should be one.
The previous world record chase ever to win has been 330 for 7. That was at Port Elizabeth in 2002, I'm told.
Terrific shot. Should be worth more than a single, that.
Well, the field restrictions are off. 55 Tendulkar, 79 minutes, Sehwag 37, 102 balls required for that 100 partnership. It's 100 without loss. So this partnership marches on, but incredibly just 4. No guesses as to where he's going to be bowling.
And no guesses where Sehwag's trying to hit it. Which is what the game's all about. It's the tactics. Where we'll set the field, what line we'll bowl, and try and get the batsman out of their comfort zone and play across the line. Oh, it's bowled him. He's trying to work that on the leg side. I'm not sure if he got an inside edge, but that is exactly what Ponting was trying to do. Get Sehwag playing across the line. Harvey strikes. The 100 partnership comes to an end. Very entertaining stuff from Virender Sehwag.
It sort of kept low, slightly low, played across it, couldn't quite manage it. So the breakthrough that Australia needed, they've got. Sehwag is walking back for 39. It's 103 for 1.
TVS Latchman, the new man at the crease. He'll get to face Ian Harvey, who's just crashed through Virender Sehwag's defences. Well, short, he's pulled it away just over mid-wicket's head. At least two is Damian Martin. He's got a big chase from deep backward square leg, so Harvey, bit of a surprise tactic there. No run there at the end of the 18th over. India 105 for 1.
Might not have been a bad idea to have him in there now, but he's batted up there with Sachin. Surat indeed.
Safe. Does like to swat at the short ball. Doesn't quite get the feet inside the line, just swats at it. And he's been out the series like this before.
There's just no backlift on it. It's just a flick of the wrists. Just lobs it over. It's like a short arm wrist flick over the infield.
Straight. There's a big risk in that.
As fast as Tendulkar is, Simons is quick too. Would have been close. There have been a lot of these close ones. It's not coming up as much as expected. It's because of a hint of dew now. That's from the meat of the bat, but for no runs. It's 108 for 1.
Ian Harvey, the man in action to Sachin Tendulkar, and he'll pick up a single as that's chopped away to deep extra cover. And joining you in commentary, Danny Morrison and Lakshman Shivaramakrishnan.
A lot of cricket left. That's the pounding out there. We'll pick up a couple of VBS Lakshman. Oh, very rare sight.
the Australian outfit was fielding.
Got a big smile on your face, haven't you, Les? TVS looking through that leg side, he loves it. Damien Martin, well, they got a little bit of a bad bounce, but test match there in a couple of first-class games a few years ago now. It's a lovely little dab from Tendulkar. He's going to pick up 4 for it. A little genius, just wants to go across, premeditated, knew what he wanted to do, and the execution was good enough.
Ian Harvey wasn't impressed. He was looking at the umpire. He thought it was leg buys. This will give us a good indication. He likes to play that shot. The paddle fine against the spinners, but this time realizing the medium pace with Harvey. Give enough pace to play with it. Just gave it direction. The man had shot fine. Once again, the initial attempt was to paddle fine, but changes his mind, but still picks up a boundary. 2 boundaries in the over. 126 for 1.
And it's so difficult sometimes to pick up Ian Harvey. Wasn't a great delivery. Tried the slower ball again. It was a low full toss. Got the treatment.
And De Bickel not impressed. He has to play the big shots. Tendulkar, man well set. He's in 348.
Just tried the slow ball there. I just want to jab a goal too. It's easy to say up here from the commentary box, I know, but just thinking, you know, changes of pace. You'd have bowled a bit differently to these 2 left-handers from Australia.
Over the top.
And that is beautiful. Ends with a boundary, the 23rd over. Or 131 for 1.
The last 2 overs have ended well for the Indians. Boundary is coming. The last ball of the previous over and the one before that. Bickel once again. Just that margin of error for Tendulkar to free his arms.
A couple and get it quite comfortably. Why Boomy?
It was my debut series in Australia.
There was an incident when you knocked somebody and there was blood coming out of him and you started to panic instead of the batsman.
Yes, you are aggressive, you want to bowl a bouncer, but you really don't intend to hurt anyone there.
Goes for the ball, makes good contact and the placement even better. It's always on the cards. Take the spinner on as quickly as he can.
And he's just a little too short. And Sachin Tendulkar, well, he's not going to miss out on this. And doesn't.
Once again, strokes it through the offside. There is protection in the deep. 2 runs at the last ball. It's 142 for 1. Bickel will continue from the bowling end. Lakshman doing the right thing, picking up the singles, giving Tendulkar the strike. What do you reckon, Sri? Which way is the game heading? Pretty even Stevens. Australia 149 for 1. India 143 for 1.
That sums it up. Short again. And he's missed out. Another boundary.
He's finding it difficult to grip the ball on the shorter side. He's gone. Lakshman gone. Clark picks up a wicket. Looks pretty ordinary, but picks up important wickets. Michael Clark and a big one of VVS Lakshman.
You could almost hear a pin drop at the ground. Almost a deathly silence. And that is a great catch. Made it look easy, Simons. That was travelling. He is gone. Lakshman is 18 of 22 balls faced. It's 148 for 2.
They'll look for some good form here. He's had a terrific record in one-day format. Strike rate of under 75. Almost 9,000 runs. Quite an amazing stat that. 52 50s and 22 hundreds. Indian captain gets off the mark. In an area where he loves the most. Square of the wicket in the offside.
India losing VVS Lakshman, last man for 18. Pickle continues. Get a run, moves on to 81.
Of 81 deliveries.
Nicely played for a run. Yes, sir, the dew and the wetness in the outfield softens the seam on the Kookaburra ball, and every time the ball lands on the seam, because of the wetness and the seam not being very hard, inside edge, and that's a run. Tendulkar. Pickle quickly at the striker's end to receive the throw. Very keen to run between the wickets. He prefers scoring in boundaries. Another sprint for a single for Tendulkar. 153 for 2. In this innings, this run chase, it's 8.48. Another ball skidding through. A factor that played a big part in Gwalior.
Yes, and as the ball gets older, it tends to get more of that dew, which means that it gets heavier and skids through faster. Very close shave for the little champion. That's the way he was clean bowled at Mumbai, but this is a better track, better bounce. The one at Mumbai was helping the spinners, but one here is a brilliant one for batting.
Ganguly goes for the spinner and gets a 4. His first 4 of the innings.
It's a good positive move from the Indian captain Saurav Ganguly. Promoted himself. He's gone ahead of Rahul Dravid, realizing that India need to score at an average of around 8.5 and over. And the left-arm spinner is on. And this is what he can do to the left-arm spinner.
But that was unexpected for Ganguly, but good reaction to get 2 consecutive boundaries.
It's not very easy to grip the ball. That one clearly slipped out of the hands of Clark. Thank you very much, says Saurav Ganguly. I've just come back after about a month's layoff, and this is what I need in the beginning. A couple of full tosses to get off the start, get off the blocks. Thank you very much.
India had the same problem at Cuttack, the Indian spinners. Another 3rd consecutive full toss with the same result. These are just action replays for you in real time.
Now this has not slipped out of his hand. This is pressure. This is nothing but pressure. Clark realizes that he's bowling to the best batsman in the world against spin bowling. The ball slipping out of his hand.
Last ball skidding through, keeping low. 166 for 2.
I wonder what Sachin Tendulkar is really made of, Sanjay. The more the competition, the better he performs.
Well, he's played it wide off mid-wicket. Good fielding by Brad Williams. Will get Tendulkar a couple of runs, who moves into the mid-80s now. Outfield is wet. The fielders also will struggle to really sprint into deep. It's another 4 for India. These 2 overs have been extremely good. Tendulkar moves on to 89.
I think he's decided he's going to play his game. That was pretty risky. Sometimes you can carry the ball to the stumps. Sachin Tendulkar moves on to 89 with that boundary.
Saurav Ganguly at the non-striker's end. That ball has skidded through, and Ian Harvey has struck again, his 2nd wicket. And Tendulkar again for the 2nd time in this series, rocking, very disconsolate. It happened in Mumbai, and once again, after getting a good score, he's able to get the big one. A bit of inside edge onto the pads, and again that ball skidding through. 89 to Tendulkar, and still the crowd applauding that effort. That's nice to see. 172 for 3.
Deliveries that have kept low. Sachin Tendulkar was unlucky, I would say. Just 11 short of his 100. Who wants to have a look what happened there? The computers that we have.
There's no doubt that the ball kept low, but let's try and find out whether it was the movement. There was definitely some movement for Ian Harvey, the ball coming in.
Playing on the back foot and trying to place it towards third man or fine leg. That's also become a habit for the batters in one-day internationals.
Always gets the distance comfortably, Saurav Ganguly. That's his first six. And always a great sight.
Ganguly against spinners. I think he's one of the best lifters I've seen. He could do that from the hospital bed as well.
Michael Clarke given another over after Ganguly launched into him in the last one. So this was a chance that the Indian captain would take. Beautiful glide down the pitch. Bottom hand coming in. Head nice and still. I don't think there are too many batsmen in world cricket who can do this better. Look at the balance. Never really looks to hit the ball hard. He's got that confidence.
He's had an operation. Has a few stitches. Comes back. He can time the ball well. End of the 30th over. 181 for 3 India.
Brad Williams has been introduced. Dravid gets a single. Gets on to 4. 186 for 3 India.
Well thought of by Ian Harvey. 2 Indian openers. Sachin Tendulkar's wicket was very important for the Aussies. Brad Williams started off the proceedings from the pavilion, and now he's been brought on from the Bemel end. He's gained in confidence.
Another ball skidding on to the batsman.
Brad Williams has got his head on his shoulders.
See, just the 2 red dots for the Australians, 3 for India. That might just make the difference. Just out of reach of Matthew Hayden. Dravid wanted the second. Ganguly wasn't interested.
That's because of the dew. The ball gets heavy, starts skidding. Trying to play it on the offside. Didn't get it in the right place. Rahul Dravid.
Full toss, it's been smacked past mid-off. That's for welcome boundary for India. 33 overs gone, 196, 7 for 3.
As usual. Missing out on 100. Tendulkar there was dismissed by Harvey, the first 2 wickets.
He's the man with 2 wickets. Change of pace. That is very elegant from Rahul Dravid.
Not the easiest shot to play against somebody like Ian Harvey, who has a good change of pace. The crowd's loving it. Just in the spot, hitting on the rise. We've seen a couple of batsmen struggle with it. Not Rahul Dravid. Waited for the ball to come on to him. At the last moment, hitting the sweetest spot of the bat. Brilliant stat there. India at the stage, marginally ahead of the Australians. Gone over the top, man getting underneath it, and he's taken it. Andrew Simons picks up an important wicket of the Indian captain. Andy Bickle, the man in the deep, had no problems.
None about people with a golden arm. Well, Simons, he's having a time of it here in India. Again, an important breakthrough, an important piece of cricket from him. Bickle takes a smart catch in the deep. He's gone for 37, the skipper. It's 217 for 4.
Yuvraj Singh, the new man in. The batsman crossed over. He'll be at the non-striker's end. 26 gone. It's 217 for 4. Yuvraj gets off the mark. Still the left-right combination done to me. Brad Hogg, the fielder.
That is class. Got down. Might have been a bit showy with one hand. Ground fielding and the commitment. Superb.
He's found the gap. Yuvraj Singh loves it. What a great hit. Just standing tall and leaning back in the drive to get the elevation. Terrific shot.
Chased down 325 and he played a big part, Yuvraj Singh. So,
Nice, TV.
takes some doing. 230 for 4.
72 balls left, 118 to win. Nice half. This last over, Ian Harvey bowled pretty well, picked up 2 useful wickets. Can they pick up a few boundaries? Nice, Harvey. Always an important factor. That's why he's been very effective, Ian Harvey, bowling the death overs. He's waiting to release the ball till the last moment.
Just have to check this one here, Yuvraj. One for it. He really wants to cut loose. You just get the feeling here. The shake of the head.
Dangerous. We've already seen 2 batsmen being out bowled. The ball skidding onto the bat. Sehwag and Tendulkar. Rahul Dravid is taking the risk. Worked it in quite nicely. Yuvraj Singh will pick up his second boundary.
Yes, it's about middle, going into leg. Cannot afford to get into middle and leg with Indians with the elasticated wrists. Beautiful flick.
Once again, this time fine. Gets to the practice pitches. And beats the fielder. Consecutive boundaries to end the over. It's 242 for 4.
And again, you get into leg stump, you're going to pay the price all the way to the roll.
For a moment, just thought it was leg bias. There was a bit of batting ball. Rahul Dravid waited till the last moment. Just a tickle. He considered himself a little lucky. Adam Gilchrist is a left-hander. It's his natural side.
It's dropped to 9.5 now, down from 10. Again, it's a little bit of bounce too. Different inconsistencies here. A little bit of effort ball, a little bit of flight.
Over 10 overs left. Just get the single. It's 250 for 4.
And that's a really real uppercut. Little tidies up down there at third man. I think this is a good move for Australia.
Change of angle to cramp Yuvraj for the room. The interesting thing is the Australians had 28 fours and 8 sixes in their innings. The Indians have 26 fours and 3 sixes. Could be the key. Can Yuvraj strike a few into the stands?
Well, he's capable, and Rahul Dravid, he's found no man's land. Coming back for 2, and gets there. 10.07. Not a big slog man, is he? He's not a big sort of cow corner dong man where he likes to go there. It's a good change of pace as well from the bowler. Lucky he didn't get it too well.
And he's gone. What a catch! Could be the catch of the tournament. It's a tall man, Marto Kasparovich. He had to get down in time. He's firmly struck by Rahul Dravid, but he's on his way back. Important wicket coming again the Aussies' way.
All 6'4" of them. Wasn't going that quickly, but he had to change direction, Michael Kasperich. Driver goes for 34. It's 2:54 for 5.
Mohammad Kaif, the new man in. Good strike rate, and these two run between the wickets pretty well. Good over from Kasperich. 2:54 for 5. Goes to the big shot, and he's given it. Prakash doesn't take too much time, and I think it's a pretty straightforward one.
He's very quick with the draw, isn't he, Ellis? You certainly know if you're out, straight away. Again, we just talked about spearing it in, full. No problems with that. It's pitched in line, it's at the back leg, hit off stump. Has to go for 20. India now, 2:54 for 6.
Zaid Khan, the new man in. Just the bowlers left for Mohammad Kaif. Gets off the mark, Zaid Khan. Like 20 runs of Jacob Oram in the last match against New Zealand.
It's the beauty of Simons. Looking at the keeper standing up and bowling to Yuvraj Singh. A show as well.
Zaid Khan certainly coming the way of Andrew Simons. They picked the right end, Andrew Simons. Zaid Khan, in fact, trying to stay out of the way, but got himself into a tangle. Could have been a close call if it was a direct hit.
Getting away of the line there. The bowler trying to show at the bowler's end, but going the other way. Simon's excited. Short one, well bowled to the tail end of Zahir Khan. 42 overs gone. And there's a throw, and there's a shout. Didn't slide the bat. Zahir Khan, is this the cardinal sin?
Andy Bickle, the fielder. Well, keep your eyes on Zaid Khan. He's lost it, no balance. On the line. Oh, the inside of the line belongs to the umpire. The bails come off in time. It's a tight one for the third umpire as well. Harry Hurren, the man.
Oh, I think that's history. Now, if you don't slide your bat, you'd almost deserve to go from that poor running. But have some part of your foot or bat or anything, foot over the line, he's gone. That's out of here. He's gone. It is 2:59 for 7.
Well, he's the local boy, Anil Kumble. He's played one memorable innings on this very ground to get India to win. The company of another local boy, Srinath. Another run out. That should be gone, or has he made the ground? In fact, he has. Oh no, they will check with things. Might have another look.
Turns very quickly. Once he gets the nose shout here, he does turn very well and get back. Direct hit to Bolum. That's not. Is it full stretch though? Only question for the third umpire, could be if the bat's in the air, but ooh, gee, that's hard to tell. Nails off there.
Mohammad Kaif survived the difficult one. His bat is inside the crease, but it's slightly raised from the ground. The two extremes of how to get back in your crease, Zaid Khan and Mohammad Kaif, 260.
Ultimately, that may be what stops the Indian victory charge.
Another Indian batsman vulnerable to run-outs, Anil Kumble. Them to have a good time at the cricket, even if it's a boring day of cricket. Off the gloves, Anil Kumble will be happy with the one. Mohammad Kaif will keep the strike. So a lot of grounds around India because of crowd trouble that we've had in the past. Maybe more alert security guards and something like this, so that the crowds can enjoy the game. They can have their drink of water whenever they feel like. They can carry their own drinks. So setting standards, Chinnaswamy Stadium. Madong will cut it off. 268 for 7. 5 overs to go in the Indian innings. Most of spectators here at the stadium have accepted the fate. Yes, sir, you talked about Kasparovich's figures. In fact, anybody under 6 has done well for his team. It's been a high-scoring match. Kasparovich with an economy rate of 3.78. By far the outstanding bowler in both teams.
And we will have a thriller in Hyderabad.
Anil Kumble will get 2 runs here. Hyderabad is another high-scoring venue. They have played well there. In fact, India have got 376, Jeff.
376.
275 for 7. Bowling being carried on at a rapid pace here by the Australians. All about finishing this innings very quickly. Oh! Big high full toss. Wonder whether that will be called no ball. Ready to bowl, Simons. Oh! Hit a little ragged, but I don't think the Australians are too worried about it.
That's just plays inside it. I think it was a mis-stumping. Oh, it doesn't matter. Case dragged it on, trying to drag Simons into the top layer of the stand. So India's 8th wicket falls. Mohammad Kaif, a little unlucky here, just trying to get on with the game. Dragged on the bottom edge onto the middle stump. And he's on his way for 8 off 14 balls. India 277 for 8.
Murali Karthik is facing Andrew Simons, and India have got 278, which means they get the point for denying Australia the bonus point. And they thought it was not quite working with the combination. Correct hit, missed. Good for India. That's got a few runs at least during the Sehwag, so he'll be in decent frame of mind in the next match. Some areas to look at for India. 284 for 8.
What's over? Oh.
So Australia will get another victory in the TVS series, and I wouldn't certainly say cruise to victory. Australia's victory was set on the basis of Gilchrist and Ponting's hundreds.
Again, Damien Martin playing a good innings with the 2 centuries. Matthew Hayden giving the right start and right support to Gilchrist. So everything looking good for Australia. The build-up to the final match has been in order for them. Last ball of the innings. Anil Kumble will pick up a single. India will finish at 286 for 8, falling short by, well, at least 62 runs by my calculation. And there it is. Australia win by 61 runs. Time for handshakes. Australia winning the toss, putting up a huge total, 347 for 2. And India were in the game, as you said, Jeff, till the 40th over. Then after that, it just proved to be too much. So confirmation of this penultimate game in the league stage. Australia win by 61 runs. The Indian batting card, top scorer with Tendulkar, 89, but it was quite a Himalayan trek for the Indian batsman, and always a difficult target to beat.
Michael Kasparovich, the veteran, the best of the bowlers. Harvey took 2 wickets and did his job, although expensive. And Andrew Simons chipped in for 3. That's a little bonus for him, a couple at the end. And the game was all but over.
So there it is. In the end, it turned out to be an easy win for Australia. The last 10 overs, India were completely out of the chase. So 286 for 8, India 50 overs, and Australia winning this match by 61.